Hey, today I am going to be talking about boating with kids and babies. And for those of you who know me, I'm Carrie Ellen from Travel Bound Mom. I have 3 little boys. They are 1, 4, and 7. And we have owned a boat since my oldest son was less than a year. So we are constantly boating. We've done all sorts of different boating on lakes and rivers and oceans. And have a lot of different experience. So I have a lot of things to share, but I think today I'll probably focus on like the safety aspects of it, because a lot of the questions that I got from you were about life jackets and like that logistical stuff of safety. And at the end, if I have time, I'll mention a couple of different things that I love like to just bring. So first of all, boating safety is a huge thing. I'm a huge proponent of boating safety always. There are different boating laws in different states. So I am knowledgeable about Connecticut state laws because that's where I live. In our state, every child 12 and under needs to wear a life jacket in any type of boat. And that means kayaks, that means, paddle boards, that means regular, any boat situation. And they need to have a life jacket that fits. So we'll talk about some different fitting today of life jackets. And what I will say is that all states, so the rules are very different. So if you live in a state or if you're traveling to a state and you're going to be boating, there is a website called boatus.org that you can see and look at the individual states' laws. And there are some states that don't have any boat or life jacket laws for kids. And in those cases, the U.S. Coast Guard does actually have like an interim law where they say that kids 13 and under, so same as Connecticut, kind of 12 and under, or they're less than 13, I guess, is the Coast Guard. So 12 and under would be that they need to wear a life jacket. So let's talk about like types of life jackets. So if you have a baby, you are going to be looking for a life jacket that has this type of head support. You're probably familiar with like the orange buoy life jackets that they have on like boats and stuff, right? Like the like tour boats that they pull out for emergencies to show you. But if you are boating in like a personal watercraft use, you want a baby life jacket with this support. And the point of this is that if you put a baby or a smaller kid who doesn't know how to swim in a life jacket like this with no head support, they are going to, if they hit the water in an emergency and fell in, there's no way for them with their big old bobbleheads to stay out of the water. So the point of a baby life jacket with this head support is that if they fall in the water, they're more likely to stay head up. So that's the safety support here. I like the infant life jackets that are like the neoprene, I hope I'm saying that right, material. It's just a lot more comfortable than like some of the other, like the materials of like the puddle jumpers. I'm not even sure what like the different types are, but we love like the neoprene one. This is I can share if you have a specific question. I can, send me a message or send a comment. I'll try to read comments as I'm going, but it is hard to see them. So if you leave a comment, I will message you back afterwards. But this is a baby life jacket. What you'll see is it usually has a zipper here, and then it also have straps. And all kid life jackets up to 50 pounds, I think, have like a crotch strap too, which basically keeps it, it down so it's not riding up on them and on them safely. So this is for babies less than 30 pounds. So this is what my 1-year-old uses, and probably even up to next year he'll be using it. So that's that one we like. For a little bit bigger kids, like this is my, my preschooler is in this size. The next stage up is like 30 to 50 pounds. Similar thing, they don't have the head support in this one, but it's a zipper with buckles and the crotch strap, so that keeps them in. I do like to teach my toddlers, as soon as they're old enough, even my 1-year-old likes to buckle stuff himself. They like to be involved. So getting them involved, teaching them how to buckle and, make sure everything's there. And then you double checking is a great way to get them interested and knowing the safety of that. And then of course I couldn't find my older son's life jacket because we are in the middle of packing for a trip today. But then there's 50 to 90 and, different things like that. I will say for safety, my kids wear their life jackets when they're on the dock. My 7-year-old, if we're like on the lake, it's not as big of a thing. He knows how to swim. He doesn't necessarily wear his life jacket on the dock, but baby always, toddler always, because especially in dark waters, just, there could be an accident where, you drop, you slip, baby slips, something. It just terrifies me that option. So I always have my little guys' life jackets on when we are on docks getting to the boats. And then anytime the boat is underway, they're always in their life jackets. When we do stop to swim, typically we're going to like a beach area or something like that where the water is super shallow. I do take off the life jackets that they're using for boating at that point, because you don't want the life jacket that they're wearing in the boat to be what they're getting all wet in. So if you're planning to swim, I would suggest bringing a different type of life jacket. And what I use for my toddler is I'll use the puddle jumper. And these are awesome for swimming. Another thing just to note is if you are going in a river or if you are in an area where there is like a current, even if it's shallow water, I would recommend that you keep your kid's life jacket on. We boat in the Connecticut River and we do an island there with the kids a lot. And even when the water is just at the ankles or knees, my babies are always and kids are always in something like this. Because the tide sometimes can come in really quickly, especially if you don't know the area that you're boating in. It's always just a good idea to have this. Tides are unpredictable, currents are unpredictable, so big proponent for safety, just always having something available. And then their life jacket won't be soaking wet when they get back on the boat to go home, which always gets chilly even if it's hot out. Except maybe if you're in Florida and it's about 100 degrees and 100 degrees humidity, you maybe won't be cold there. But in Connecticut, even if it's 85, 90, it still gets a little chilly when you're wet and leaving your destination to go home. Let's see. I had something else to say there. The reason, so puddle jumpers you might see is that sometimes some puddle jumpers in some states are approved for boating use. I would not use a puddle jumper for boating, like for actual boating when the boat is underway and moving. If you have a toddler or a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, they can get out of these, and that just doesn't seem safe to me. So I use these for swimming when on the boat. If we get to the destination, we're just hanging out, they can switch over to this. But when we are actually boating and there's any risk of things unexpected can happen, they do not wear these because, my 3-year-old can quickly take his little arms out of this, take this out, and then it's not very stable anymore. So I wouldn't use a puddle jumper, even if it is approved in the state that you're in for actual boating when underway. Let's see, Hillary, you said my 3-year-old wears that one, she can easily swim in it too. I'm assuming you're meaning the puddle jumper, right? Yeah, so this one is awesome because it's good for swimming. The other thing I will say as an adult getting onto the boat is you need to know where the life jackets are. If it's not your boat, you should be asking whoever's boat it is, if your friend or family, where are the adult life jackets? Many adults do not wear life jackets on boats because it's not required by law. I understand this. I will say myself, when I am boating with my babies and kids and we are out in a situation that is a little more dangerous than just a small lake or something where there's currents and waves and stuff like that, I do try to wear my life jacket. And I actually just recently found out there's a type of life jacket like this that's inflatable. So if you are a parent that wants to wear a life jacket but you don't want to be in the big bulky adult life jacket, there are some other options. I'm not quite sure what the correct name of this is, but it's a inflatable one. So if you want to be as a parent, just have a backup, in case something were to happen. There are life jackets like this that you can just put on and they are inflatable. If you had an emergency, had to get in the water, these would inflate, but otherwise it's pretty lightweight. So that's a nice option if you want to wear a life jacket, but you don't want to wear the big bulky ones. Let's see. Any other questions about safety right now? I feel like that's kind of the most I was going to say. I can add more too. If you have specific questions, drop them in the comments and I will get back to you. Now, as far as logistical stuff, again, I mentioned not using your life jackets to swim because they get wet. Bring extra clothing for the kids to change into. What I typically do with the baby is I keep the baby in his clothes and his regular diaper on the boat with his life jacket until we get to the swimming destination. And then when we are heading home, I will take or when we're there, I'll put his swim diaper on, his bathing suit and all that on the boat to get to the water. And then before we head home, I will get him in dry clothes, regular diaper again. Don't leave the swim diaper on because it will leak on you. And get everyone dry. If it's a kind of that questionable chilly day, I'll put new clothes on the kids too. So not only will they have dry life jackets, but they'll have a dry shirt. We pack towels. I meant to bring up my towels. You can bring regular towels on the boat, obviously. But if you are someone who is boating and looking for options, there are some like compact towels. We have like a little orange thing like this. It's like this big. And the towels, like they're like microfiber or something. They wrap up and we get 4 towels that we can bring on our own boat. So when we're boating on our own boat, we bring those, but when we go on other people's boats, we usually just bring regular towels. I do bring a potty. If you've been here a while, you know that I love this. I keep this in my car. It saved us during 2020 when all the bathrooms were closed and we were trying to go anywhere, and it's just an awesome thing to have. It fits in this little, here, I guess I popped it out without showing you, but it folds flat. So much better than those like bulky toilets that people have nothing. So it's flat. You can see like this. It pops out. It's got little legs. And then what it has, you can sit and go to the bathroom. And it has little bags in it. Let's see if I have any left right now. Oh yeah, here. So they're like bags and they have like diaper pads on the bottom. So what they are is you stick it into the toilet like this. If the kids need to go pee or poop, usually is the issue here. Because most part you can pee into the water, right? But some kids don't want to do that. So if they do want a potty, even if the boat has a potty, because I know a lot of people, even if their boats have bathrooms, they don't necessarily want you using them. So this is just an easier option. I bring this to the beach. We can use on the boat, we can use off the boat. And then, they pee, they poop, whatever. It gets soaked into a little pad. You tie it, bring it with you, throw it away when you get home. So that's like my mom hack, like keep it in your car. I think it's like $20 or $30. It's not that bad. I always keep it in the back of my car, just in case the kids need to go to the bathroom, but also it's awesome for boating. And I think that's it. Like for the other things, I always will have snacks on boats, overpack snacks because kids get hungry, just like we as adults get hungry. Don't forget water for them. It gets hot out there. Yeah, if you're bringing adult beverages, make sure you throw the waters in there. We've had situations where certain people don't pack waters for the kids. So as mom, definitely pack the waters. And sunscreen, obviously, change of clothes, some toys. We do have pop-up buckets and stuff that we bring. The kids love to sit in there and just play with like those pop-up buckets. Let's see if I missed anything else. Sunscreen, yeah. Oh, wipes are awesome for getting sand off. Sometimes, just some of that black sand. And then if you haven't used it, baby powder is actually awesome. So if you're the kids, like if I usually dunk the baby, to get the sand off, get the toddler off before they get back onto the boat. But sometimes that like black gritty sand, depending where in the world you are, doesn't come off very well. So if you take some baby powder and rub it on it, it gets off. So depending how fancy you want to go, if you want to pack some baby powder, that helps too. But wipes help with everything. Hand sanitizer is always good. And I think that's kind of like the super overview of boating. I'm happy to answer other questions. Again, we have a boat. I have 3 boys. We've been boating for years, and I love it. So let me know if you have questions, and I will get back to you. So thanks for being here today, and I will see you all another time.